everybody, my name is Belinda Wasser, also known as Rocket Girl. If you're joining us live today, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and coming. And if you're watching the replay, welcome. Either way, if you have any questions, thoughts, please add them in the comments and I'll be sure to circle back around and answer your questions. Today I want to welcome you to the Rocket Girl Show. It's presented by the VA Connection. And for those of you who don't know about the VA Connection, we're a professional online community that is committed to educating and connecting virtual assistants all over the world. As of today, we have 523 members, and I would love to invite you to join us. There's a couple ways to do that. One is to join our Facebook group. Or there's a couple different ways you can do that, join our Facebook group. One is to type the Virtual Assistant Connection in the top, the search bar of Facebook, and it'll bring you right to the group. And the other is to use this bit.ly link, bit.ly.vaconnection.com. That will also take you right to the Facebook group. If you decide to join us, that would be great. You will have access to lots of videos like this, and also tons of written material, articles, all about best practices for being a virtual assistant. And it's a wonderful community. I feel very blessed to have so many wonderful people in the group and committed to helping each other. So today, as you know, we're going to talk about time tracking tips for virtual assistants. So it was so interesting to me when I became a virtual assistant 9 years ago that the thing that was the hardest for me was to remember to track my time. I had had years and years of experience in corporate where certainly I got things done and and checked things off my list, but that was really different from watching the minutes go by, sort of one at a time. And but what I discovered quickly is that as a virtual assistant, our products are time and expertise. So if we're not tracking our time, we're definitely losing money. So let's talk about a couple of tips for tracking our time. So the first one is you want to use an online time tracking system. I use Toggle. I keep it open all the time, and I keep it pinned in a browser tab. If you're not sure what that means, there's an article about that in the Facebook group you can check out. But it's always accessible, so that way I never have to think about it. I don't have to remember my login, anything like that. There's not a barrier to that. How I work, this is how I work. I have a notebook on my desk right next to me, and let's say I'm going to start working on stuff for Jim. I'll write Jim's either his name or his initials down on my notepad. I'll look at the time and I'll start doing the work. When I'm finished, what I do, I look at the time again and I enter it right into Toggle right there. I don't leave my desk because I'm afraid that I won't remember that whether or not I put it into Toggle. My notebook can get a little messy during the day. So I recommend that you put your time in right as you complete something. Very important. The next thing is I do work for one client at a time. Now, I know that that's the perfect world, and sometimes, mostly, the world is not always perfect when it comes to things like this. So if, for example, there's an email that I'm watching for sort of out of the corner of my eye, when that email comes, if I have to act on it, I literally stop and I say in my head, okay, I'm switching to this project, and then I make a note on the notebook what time I stopped, and then I work on that, and then I put the task I did in the interim, that little mini task, into Toggle, and then go back to the other work. It's important to do that because I've just learned the hard way that if you think it's only going to take a minute, before you know it, another email comes in and you're off completely doing something else and have really no idea how much time it's taken. You can look up at the clock and you think, did I stop a quarter after or 5 after? And really, we want to be fair to us, and we also want to be fair to our clients. So like everything else, I say this all the time, it's a muscle. You just have to get used to doing it. Okay, so all right, let's talk about time rounding. That's a question a lot of virtual assistants have. There is there is a feature in Toggle where you can click a timer and start to work and then click that timer off. That kind of makes me nuts, so that's why I use the notebook. But if you want to do that and you've worked, 8 hours and 57 seconds, please do not put that on your timesheet. Round it up to 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes. And so let's also talk about quick tasks. This can be a little tricky. So the reason it's tricky is because I don't know about you guys, but when I sit at my desk, I can get, 50 emails in a day, 40 emails that are asking me to do something. And sometimes all of them are really fast. They just take a minute here, a minute there. However, I could spend my whole day doing that. And if I just say to myself, oh, it's just a minute, oh, it's just a minute, the whole day has gone by and I haven't billed any time. So here's my rule of thumb. If it takes, if it's an email that's yes, no, and I don't have to really think about anything, it's just, I know the answer off the top of my head, I charge for 5 minutes. If I have to think about it or maybe look at something, it's 10 minutes. As soon as I open an application, it's 15 minutes. Now, this may or may not feel right to you, and it's completely up to you to decide how you're going to handle that. And it took me many years to do this, because for some reason I thought if it only took me a minute, it couldn't be worth any time because it wasn't that important. But it was important enough that your client needed that information, and they decided to come to you because you're the one that could help them. So give that some thought. That's an important one. And this is kind of interesting too. So as part of the work, so let's say, you're working on a project and you've got an Excel spreadsheet open and 3 Word documents, and, you're inside the back end of their website and you've got this sort of mess everywhere as a result of doing that work. Before you stop the timer, look around and close everything down. File what needs to be filed, look at your notes, make sure they're complete, close whatever it is, you're using for keeping your notes, shut down PowerPoint, and bring your workstation back to, sort of even, where it was when you started. And then at that point is when you stop the time, because cleaning up is part of actually the work. So, all right. I know we all want to be generous with our clients, and and we're grateful for them. But I think our clients I know our clients expect us to charge them for their time, and it's important to make sure we do that so we can make a good living doing what we love. All right, I'm going to pause for a minute here, and I'm going to see if there's any questions. Let's see. I'm going to show this one. So this is Lisa Corrado. She says, I love the Rocket Girl Show. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so does anybody have any other questions? If you do, just go ahead and post them. I know there's a little bit of a lag, so I'm just going to wait a minute. And while I do, I'm going to show you the slide again for our Facebook group. Invite you to come. We'd love to have you. Lots and lots of information. We have another viewer right here. I'm just going to show. Hi, Alyssa. How are you? Thanks for watching. All right. So one more thing. It looks like we have one more. Okay, great. Okay, have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching the Rocket Girl Show. This is Belinda Wasser, Rocket Girl, signing off. Until next time. Bye-bye.